Did you know that when Denis Villeneuve was first approached to direct Blade Runner 2049, he initially turned it down? The pressure of following up on one of the most influential sci-fi films ever made was too daunting. Yet the same director would go on to create what many consider a masterpiece that not only honors the original, but stands as a landmark achievement in its own right. From its breathtaking visuals to its profound exploration of humanity, Blade Runner 2049 accomplished what seemed impossible, crafting a worthy successor to a cult classic while pushing the boundaries of what big-budget science fiction could achieve. In an era of rushed nostalgia cash grabs, this film took its time to tell a story that mattered. But before we dive into this remarkable achievement, a real quick ask that if you're new to the channel or haven't subscribed yet, please take a second to hit the subscribe button now. It's one small click for you, but a huge deal for us. Thanks. Now, let's examine what went right with Blade Runner 2049. Reason number 1, visual mastery. When Roger Deakins finally won his first Oscar for Best Cinematography after 14 nominations, it wasn't some pity Lifetime Achievement Award. It was recognition of some of the most stunning imagery ever captured on film. But what makes Blade Runner 2049's visuals truly special isn't just how pretty they are, it's how every frame serves the story's themes and emotional core. Take the scene where Kay walks through an abandoned Las Vegas casino. The orange haze creates an almost womb-like atmosphere, fitting for a sequence where Kay is seeking answers about his own origins. The massive fallen statues of naked women aren't just striking imagery, they're a reflection of the film's exploration of artificiality and humanity, beauty and decay. Every visual choice reinforces the film's central themes. The stark contrast between the sterile white halls of the Wallace Corporation and the gritty streets of LA tell us everything we need to know about the power dynamics in this world. The way characters are often filmed through barriers, glass, rain, holograms, visually reinforces their isolation and questioning of what's real. Reason number 2, expanding the world without betraying it. Creating a sequel to Blade Runner posed a unique challenge. How do you expand a world that's become so influential while keeping what made it special? The answer was to build naturally on the original's foundations while exploring new territory that felt authentic to that universe. The film takes us beyond the rain-soaked streets of LA to the orange wasteland of Las Vegas and the stark white facilities of the Wallace Corporation. Each new location feels like a natural extension of the world we knew while adding new layers to our understanding of this future. The technology, too, evolved in ways that felt true to the original's retro-futuristic aesthetic. The baseline test that Kay must regularly pass is a brilliant addition that builds on the Voight-Kampff test from the original while serving a different narrative purpose. Joi, the AI companion, explores new questions about consciousness and reality while feeling like she could have always existed in this world. Reason number 3, patient pacing. In the age of rapid-fire editing and constant action, Blade Runner 2049 dared to take its time. The film's nearly 3-hour runtime wasn't just about cramming in more plot, it was about giving moments room to breathe, allowing audiences to sink into this world and contemplate its deeper meanings. Consider the sequence where Kay walks through an abandoned orphanage. Lesser films would rush to the next plot point, but 2049 lingers, letting us feel the weight of every footstep, every memory that might or might not be real. This isn't slow pacing, it's purposeful pacing, and builds tension and emotional resonance. The film trusts its audience enough to let them piece things together, to sit with uncertainty and ambiguity. When Kay discovers the wooden horse, the camera doesn't cut away to a flashback, it stays on his face, letting us read every subtle shift in his expression as he processes what this might mean. Reason number 4, performances that deepen the mystery. Ryan Gosling's portrayal of Kay is a masterclass in subtle character work. As a replicant who begins to question everything he knows about himself, Gosling had to convey complex emotions while maintaining the artificial restraint of his character. Every crack in this programmed facade feels earned and meaningful. Harrison Ford's return as Deckard could have been just a nostalgia grab, but instead becomes something far more profound. His Deckard is a man weighted by decades of isolation and sacrifice, yet still capable of deep feeling. The scene where he encounters a recreation of Rachel isn't just emotional because of our memory of the original film, it's emotional because of how Ford plays the moment, showing us decades of loss in a single glance. The supporting cast brings equal depth to their roles. Sylvia Hoeks as Love presents a fascinating contrast to Kay, another replicant serving a human master but with absolute certainty in her purpose. Ana de Armas brings surprising humanity to Joi, an artificial intelligence whose very reality is questionable, making us care deeply about a character who might be nothing more than sophisticated software. Reason number 5. Evolving resonant themes. While the original Blade Runner asked, "What makes us human?" 2049 builds on this question by asking, "What makes our memories, relationships, and sacrifices meaningful?" It's not just about the reality of being human, it's about the significance of our choices and connections. The film explores the nature of memory and identity in ways that both feel universal and deeply personal. When Kay visits the memory maker Anna Stelline, she tells him that the most beautiful moments are often born from pain. This isn't just exposition, it's a key to understanding the film's perspective on what gives life meaning. The relationship between Kay and Joi adds new layers to this theme. Is their connection any less real because she's a program? When she tells Kay he's special, is it meaningful even if she's programmed to say exactly what he wants to hear? The film doesn't give us easy answers, but makes us question our own assumptions about authenticity and emotion. Reason number 6. World-building sound design. While the visuals of Blade Runner 2049 receive a lot of praise, and rightfully so, the film's sound design is equally crucial to its success. The team created a sonic landscape that both honors Vangelis' iconic original score while establishing its own identity through Hans Zimmer and Benjamin Wallfish's powerful compositions. The baseline test sequence demonstrates this mastery perfectly. The harsh mechanical sounds create an oppressive atmosphere that makes us feel Kay's psychological strain. When he begins to fail the test, the subtle audio cues tell us something's wrong before we even see it in his expression. The sound team understand when to overwhelm us, like the massive sonic booms of the spinner cars, and when to pull back to complete silence. This contrast creates a rhythm that pulls us through the story, making even quiet moments feel pregnant with meaning. Reason number 7. Practical effects that ground the impossible. In an era where blockbusters often rely almost entirely on CGI, Blade Runner 2049 could have fallen for the same trap, but instead took a different approach. By combining practical effects with digital enhancements, the film created a tangible world that feels lived in and real despite the hyper-futuristic setting. The massive sets built for Las Vegas and Los Angeles weren't just impressive, they allowed actors to truly inhabit the space. When Kay walks through the abandoned casino, he's interacting with a real environment, not just green screens. This grounding in reality really makes the digital elements feel more believable when they do appear. The attention to physical detail extends to the props and costumes. Everything from Kay's coat to the baseline test machine was built and weathered to feel authentic to this world. It's this foundation of practical craftsmanship that makes the digital enhancements feel like natural extensions rather than artificial additions. Perhaps the most remarkable achievement of Blade Runner 2049 is how it manages to honor the original film while establishing its own identity. It's a sequel that doesn't just repeat what worked before, it builds upon those elements to create something new. The triumph of patient storytelling. What makes Blade Runner 2049's success so significant is that it achieved something rare in modern blockbuster filmmaking. It proved that thoughtful, challenging science fiction could still find an audience. While it may not have been an immediate box office sensation, its influence on the entire genre continues to grow. The film demonstrates that sequels don't have to be mere nostalgia exercises. By taking risks, trusting the audience's intelligence, and maintaining artistic integrity, it created something that stands on its own while enriching the legacy of the original. In an age of franchise filmmaking often criticized for playing it safe, Blade Runner 2049 dared to be different. It showed that big-budget sci-fi could still ask deep questions, take its time, develop themes and characters, and create imagery that lingers in viewers' minds long after the credits roll. But hey, that's just our opinion. What did you think? Did Blade Runner 2049 succeed in building on the original's legacy? What aspect of the film resonated most with you? Let us know your thoughts in the comments down below, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into cinema's greatest achievements. This video was made by movie fans, for movie fans.